I'm Lisa Preece and welcome back to my channel. You may or may not know from some of my other videos that back in 2014 I actually worked for Disney. I did the cultural exchange program, which is when you go over for a couple of months over the summer and you sort of get a taste of what working for Disney is like, and you get to share your culture and your experiences with guests from all over the world, and you are put to work in any area of Disney World, wherever they want to put you. So it really is a kind of, oh, what are you gonna get sort of experience. But anyway, I know that the people who are going out in 2018 now know that they are going to work in Disney, so congratulations if that is you. Or maybe you're thinking of applying for next year or the year after, or you're just wishing that you could have done it back when you were at uni. So I thought I would give you my top 10 sort of memories and experiences from my program to help you get excited if you are going or hoping to apply soon. I'm going to try and go in a sort of chronological order, so let's see how this goes. My first sort of big memory was when we got to housing. We'd just been on the plane, we'd landed, we'd managed to get there, everything was going smoothly, and we got our housing assignments, and I found out that I'd been put with 7 other girls, 5 of which I'd been talking to on Facebook for many months. And we all learned that we were going to actually be able to live together, and there was much jumping and screaming, and people were like, what? Do you even know each other? And we were like, well, no, we don't really know each other, but we sort of did, and it was just a very exciting moment to know that we were all going to get to go through the experience together. And I will always remember jumping up and down in my Olaf t-shirt and just having the most massive grin on my face when I found out I was going to be living in Chatham Square, and that was my first choice as well, so I was very happy. My second one is definitely traditions. So if you don't know, this is a training program that everyone who works for Disney has to go through. It is, I think it is your first full day of Disney training, and it is by far the most exciting thing that you do at Disney University, which is a real thing and it's very cool. Mine started very early in the morning, but I did not even care. I think it finished at around 2 o'clock, which was very exciting because after that you get to go in the parks. I remember beforehand when I was trying to find out what was going to happen and what the training was like, I was trying to find out what would happen at traditions, and just everyone was being so secretive about it, and you're just going to have to find out for yourself, and I was like, that is not helpful at all. I want to know now. But I realised that not knowing is so much better. It just makes the experience amazing, and there were so many surprises, and it was just the coolest day. It really was. So just don't try and find out what happens at traditions, because the way that I found out was very magical. And there are multiple surprises on the day as well. So if you think you know what happens, you might not know everything that happens. So get excited for that. My next one is still sort of in that sort of arrival time. It was when I found out that I was going to be working at Animal Kingdom. And I remember how it worked was that everyone had a slot given to them when they had to go to Vista Way and pick up loads of forms. And on those forms it said where you were going to be working, and it gave you the dates and times of your on-the-job training shifts. And mine was later in the day to go and find out. It might have even been the same day as traditions, I can't remember. It was a long time ago now. Anyway, so you go through this system and you pick up loads of different pieces of paper, you give away different pieces of paper, and then you get to the one and it tells you all your shifts and it says where you're going to be working. And you could tell that the guy who was giving them out was kind of loving it, but he was also drained, because obviously everyone that comes there has got such high expectations and high hopes for where they're going to be placed to work. And some people are going to be disappointed, and some people are going to be very happy, and some people aren't even going to know what their workplace is and what it means, because obviously there's so many places that you can be put to work. For example, my roommate was put to work in the cone shop and in Magic Kingdom, and we were like, well, surely that is the ice cream parlour, ice cream cone shop, and it turns out that was what it was. But for a while she was like, so what am I really going to be doing? I think I know, but I don't really know. So anyway, I got put in Restaurantosaurus, which is the largest quick service in Animal Kingdom, or actually it was at the time, but now maybe the Navi, what's it called? Tilly Canteen. I haven't been yet, okay, so bear with me. I'm going this year, so I will tell you all about it then, but maybe that is busier than Restaurantosaurus now. But at the time it was the busiest and most popular quick service restaurant in the whole of Animal Kingdom. The costume is amazing, okay? It's just amazing. I remember really wanting, like while I was researching, I really wanted to have one of the costumes that has like a top and a skirt, or like a full dress sort of outfit, because they are so much fun. I love dresses anyway, and I just thought that would be so much fun to have like a really crazy weird costume. And the Disney gods smiled on me, and I got like one of the weirdest costumes, and it was so great. It was basically like a sort of pale blue, sort of like a Magic Kingdom-y blue, with a pink pinstripe all down it. So it was like a short sleeve blouse, and then a very long skirt. It had to cover your knees, which was quite hard for me because I'm a very tall person, and most of the skirts that they had were short or medium, and it was so hard to find long skirts, so I really struggled. I think one day I was sort of like looked at like, your skirt is not long enough, even though it was like exposing half of my knee. So, but it was so much fun. And then we had a apron that went over the top of it, which you tied at the back, and we had this little, like, I don't even know what you call it, like a headband with like a little thing on the top, all in the same blue and pink combo. It was a fantastic costume, and I could not have asked for more. I had so much fun with it, and it was all dinosaur themed, of course. I had a little dinosaur on my apron. Anyway, it was a very cool costume, and I was so excited to try that on for the first time. And like, you have to go into the changing rooms, and then your managers will like assess if it's, actually no, I think it's the costuming people, assess if it's Disney look. They tell you if you need a bigger this or a smaller that, and it was a very cool experience. I really did feel like a cast member then for the first time. Favourite thing was getting to go backstage in my work area. It's cool to go backstage anywhere, but to like be in that bit of backstage where you know so well is very, very cool. Where I worked was right next to one of the 2 canteens in Animal Kingdom, which was very handy. And luckily it was not the main one, but it was a secondary one. But that was still very useful if I forgot to bring a packed lunch or anything. And it was also where Donald and Goofy took their breaks, so I got to wave at them sometimes while I was sat outside having my lunch on my breaks, and they would just walk past and give me a little wave. So that was pretty special too. I've forgotten the numbers. I'm pretty sure this is number 6. There was loads of different positions that I could get put on at work. Some of them were fantastic, some of them were literally like scrubbing for hours. You think I'm kidding, I'm not. My favourite one was being the greeter who stands at the front of the door. That you only have it for a couple of hours when the restaurant is busiest, so naturally around lunch times. And you would literally hand a menu to everyone that came. And then there was another position, so someone would be the person that hands people menus as they come in, and then after they'd queued for a minute, then you would assign them to a set queue. And this one was my favourite one, because I would be monitoring all the queues, like, you know, when you sort of like feel in control of your whole situation, but sometimes you would be able to fire people straight into a queue, but other times you'd have to wait for them to go down a bit. And this was sort of my favourite thing, because I would like just chat to the family that was at the front, and I met so many great people. One of my favourites was a man who somehow we got talking, and he found out that I was half Welsh, and he was just telling me about this Welsh castle that he was dreaming of visiting, and we had a great chat. And then later he brought his wife to the restaurant to meet me because he'd enjoyed our conversation so much and he wanted to talk about Welsh castles some more, and I was like, what a great guy, so sweet. And I got to sing happy birthday to loads of people, which literally meant yelling in the middle of a massive restaurant hall, probably full of about 500 people, and getting them all to sing happy birthday, and obviously like clap anniversaries or just married people. And that was my happy place at work. I loved doing that position, it was so fun. Number 7, I think, is when I used to go, I would finish my shift. I would normally do an 11 till 5. That was my favourite shift, an 11 till 5. Or I'd also do a 12 till 6 a lot, and sometimes I would do much longer shifts that took the whole day. But those two were my favourite shifts. And when I would finish those, I would often get changed really quickly, go round to the front of the park, tap in using my like staff card, and then go and enjoy the last few hours of Animal Kingdom being open and just having the best time. Because again, this was back before Animal Kingdom was like a nighttime park, so there would be about 2 or 3 hours, depending on what shift I was on, after I would finish work, that I could explore Animal Kingdom. And I sort of had this like routine that I got into, where I would go and see the last Lion King show of the day, rush to go and see that, and then after that I would run over to Everest. And because people didn't used to stay late in Animal Kingdom back then, it was sort of seen as a half-day park, which is obviously completely untrue. But you could just go on Everest on single rider about 5 times in 15 minutes, and it was fantastic. And that would just be my usual after work routine, and honestly, like, it just made me so happy every time. Sometimes I got stuck in like this ginormous thunderstorm and all sorts of things would happen, but yeah, it was a good time. Number 8, I really am sticking with the Animal Kingdom theme again, and this was a sort of work perk type thing. Every now and then they put on a special event for cast members that work in a specific location, and it just so happened that while I was there they had the one for Animal Kingdom, so everyone who worked in Animal Kingdom was invited to this special after work event. So it was when the park had completely closed, so it was just cast members allowed in. So we went over to buy the Cali River Rapids area, and there were free crisps, free Mickey Premium bars, which was a great time. And then Cali River Rapids was just open continuously, and because there were probably only, I would say when we started there were probably like 200 cast members, but after half an hour there was probably just like 50 of us. So I think I went on Cali River Rapids about 10 times, and especially after like people had started filing away for a bit, we would just sit on the same boat and go round and round and round, and I have never been so soaked in my life. It was so much fun, and every time I go to Cali now I always remember that day and think about it so fondly. It was really magical. Actually, one of the most magical parts was when we decided to leave, and because we were literally just soaking wet, completely dripping, I took off my shoes. It was an abandoned Animal Kingdom. We walked through like around past Everest and Nemo and through Dino Land and out that way, with my shoes off. It was pitch black, no one in Animal Kingdom except for like 5 of us, so like you don't get to do that normally. It's just so special. Oh. Number 9, another really fun thing that they do for like temporary cast members, so people on the DCP and the international programs, is they have special events at housing, and we had some pretty cool ones. I think we had one that was like Dumbo themed, or did we? Big Top theme. So it's been a while, but there would always be a very good free meal that you could get, which was hot food, so that was very nice. And then there would be some characters, though the lines were normally like over an hour, and I'm not really ready to wait in that sort of line. And they would always have like a dance party and competitions, and people went hard at the dance parties. It was so fun to watch and be a part of, and that was just a really nice perk of the job to have. If you happen to be not working during the parties, because obviously not everyone could always be there, but like at least there was at least one that you could go to while you worked there, so that was really nice. My last one, number 10, is very similar really. It was the graduation, which happened in the same spot as the parties. So that was where you get your ears with the tassel, and you get to queue up for your picture with Minnie and Mickey in their graduation robes. I think I waited like 2 hours, but it just had to be done. I had to get that picture, and it was such a lovely atmosphere. And then afterwards, me and one of my roommates went out to Magic Kingdom with our ears on, got them embroidered, and of course everyone working there knows what it means, that when you have the graduation ears on, they know that you're probably going home in a couple of days and that your program is over. So literally everyone came up to us and said congratulations and was smiling at us. We were given fast passes for things because everyone wanted us to have like a lovely day, and I just felt so special. I think it was either that evening or the very last evening that everyone watched Wishes together, stood in like the hub area by the Walt statue, and there were so many people that were going home the next day. It must have been a really popular like end date for programs, and it was just like a load of like 19 to 24-year-olds just stood together sobbing, and oh my god, I was so emotionally drained. I was physically drained because, you know, we barely sleep on the programme. It was very special, but also I just remember being completely exhausted that day. Yeah, wow. That was a lovely walk down memory lane, and I hope you did enjoy learning about some of the amazing things that can happen when you work at Disney for the summer. Of course, those were my absolute 10 highlights through 3 months, and there were a lot of downsides as well. And trust me, just like me, years on, you will be remembering all those great times that you had. So make the most of it and enjoy it if you are going out this summer. If you have liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do Disney vlogs as well as more sorts of tips for Disney World and things on the Disney College programme and my experiences as well. So I hope to see you again soon, but I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and goodbye. See you soon.